Hello everyone, we're from the International Society of Psychologists. I'm Christian Elsner from Sweden.
Michael Pinali from Finland.
Fidel Torres from USA.
Kevin Sodeleva from Indonesia.
Rodel Kampener from Germany.
And I'm John Delesna from the Republic of the Philippines. We are here to discuss about intelligence. This is just a short presentation, and I do hope that in the end of this presentation, our viewers will learn more about intelligence and how we psychologists interpret it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to discuss how we psychologists define the word intelligence. First, some experts define intelligence as the ability to do work. Others, it was defined as the capacity to interpret and learn from experiences. But there are still several psychologists and experts who argue that intelligence is must have the characteristics which is the creativity and interpersonal skills. So some examples of interpersonal skills is absolutely good in communication skills. So the big problem of intelligence is that it cannot be directly measured, unlike height, weight, and age. So, of course, we cannot peel back the head of a person just to watch or measure how much intelligence he or she has. So, we can only measure it indirectly through studying and comparing the act of the people in a certain manner. So, as a psychologist, as a member of the International Psychologist Society, we use the definition of the intelligence as the ability to do work, the ability to adapt and learn from experiences.
So let's proceed. So the next topic is all about the measurement and evaluations of intelligence. Have you been wonder and noticed that how does the IQ test is being measured? When I was still studying my doctoral degree in USA at Harvard University, my professors told us that there is a certain man who developed the intelligence quotient test. His name is Alfred Binet. Alfred Binet developed the concept of mental age. Here is the Binet scale of intelligence. For example, if you take an exam and you will get this following result, for example, your result is 25, you're said to be an idiot person. For 25 above to 50, said to be an imbecile. 50 to 70 is said to be moron. 80 to 90 is said to be the defective or the borderline. 90 to 110 is said to be the normal or the average. 110 to 20 is said to be the high average. 120 to 140 is said to be the superior. And above it is the very superior. For example, your mental age in computing, you will use this formula. MA, or the mental age, over the chronological age multiplied by 100 is equal your IQ result. For example, your mental age is 20, your chronological age is, for example, 10 multiplied by 100, you will get the result of 200. 200 is said to be the very superior. I hope you will learn something in getting the IQ test by using this formula. MA over CA times 100 is equals your IQ. Before I'm going out, my professors told me that in the year of 1912, there was a certain psychologist who developed this chronological age, who is William Stern. And that's all.
In the previous discussion, we've learned about the different levels of intelligence of people. But let's now tackle more about these types of people below the borderline. The moron, imbecile, and idiot. Let's tackle first about moron. In our line of duty, we, psychologists, encounter a lot of patients having these types of cases. Moron. For example, we've known that these people have an intelligence quotient ranging from 50, 70. These people can still be educated, but sad to say, it's only limited up to the elementary level because their mental age is only up to 12 years old. When they grow up, they can live independently. They can manage their lives, but still with a little bit of supervision. They can work, they can earn, they can read and write. They can become normal people. Next is the imbecile. Some psychologists call this type of people trainable people, meaning they can be trained, of course. Their IQ level is from 25 to 50. They can learn to walk, they can learn to respond to simple tasks, but they cannot read and they cannot write because their mental age is only up to 7 years old. The same of a first grader boy. They can live with supervision of adults and they're said to be semi-dependent, like children. Next is the idiot. This is the worst part or the lowest level in the intelligence quotient test. These people has only a mental age of the same as the 3-year-old boy. These people here need a lot of supervision, a lot of patience from their parents or guardians. No matter how we try to train them, no matter how we want them to be independent, it can never happen simply because their mental age is up to 3 years old. So I advise that parents who have children or sons, daughters, or nephews, nieces that are said to be idiot, please have patience in handling them because they really need a lot of supervision. They need guidance in their everyday living in order to survive in this world. Now, let's have here a rare case called gifted children. This type of people have an IQ of above 130, meaning they excel academically, they have special talents, they have very high critical thinking. In some cases, people that are mentally retarded, or as I've said earlier, the moron, imbecile, idiot, have gifted talents or talents that are not natural for them. Some are very talented in music, some in drawing, and some even in literature. So, gifted children here do not only limit to people who have an IQ of above 130. These are also people who have special skills. Not just they're good at, but they're the best they can be in that particular skill. So, I hope that I've now explained to you the differences between moron and imbecile and idiot. So I would just like to raise the confusion that in psychology, these 3 types of person is very different from each other. Unlike in literature, that we interpret them as words having the same meaning. So once again, I hope that parents, guardians, or adults out there, please have patience and understanding for the people that are below the borderline.
Theories of intelligence. So I'm here to discuss one of the theory of intelligence, namely the Sternberg's triarchic theory. So according to my teacher, Robert J. Sternberg, he is the one who formulated this law. So, intelligence comes in three forms, namely analytical, creative, and practical. So let's tackle first analytical intelligence. Analytical intelligence involves the ability to analyze, to judge, evaluate, compare, and contrast. Creative intelligence consists of the ability to create, design, invent, originate, and imagine, while practical intelligence focuses on the ability to use, apply, implement, and put into practice. So for example, let's have this problem. So, find X. Those people who tend to have the analytical intelligence will solve this problem using Pythagorean theory. So, those people will answer probably is 5. But those people who tend to have creative intelligence would probably answer this one. So that's it. According to my teacher, Robert J. Sternberg, he concluded that most of the teachers don't like students who tend to have this creative intelligence because for them it is a waste of time or it can make them angry. That's all.
Another theory of intelligence is the Gardner's 8 frames of mind by Howard Gardner. According to Howard Gardner, there are many specific types of intelligence or frames of mind, like verbal skills, mathematical skills, spatial skills, and bodily kinesthetic skills. Verbal skills. This is the ability to think in words and to use language to express meanings or feelings. Authors, journalists, speakers are dominant in these skills, like William Shakespeare and Confucius. Next is the mathematical skills. This is the ability to think in mathematical operations and to solve mathematical problems. Scientists, engineers, accountants are dominant in these skills, like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, who are excellent in the field of science. Next is the spatial skills. This is the ability to think three-dimensionally. Artists, sailors, architects are dominant in these skills, like Leonardo da Vinci. And lastly, we have bodily kinesthetic skills. This is the ability to physically adapt and manipulate objects. Craftspeople, surgeons, doctors, dancers, and athletes are dominant in these skills, like Kobe Bryant in the field of basketball, Manny Pacquiao in the field of boxing, and etc. Thank you.
The continuation of 8 Gardner frames of mind is the musical skills, the intrapersonal skill, the interpersonal skill, and the naturalist skill. First is the musical skills, which means it has a sensitivity of pitch, melody, rhythm, and tone. And the most abundant of these skills are the composers, musician, and the music therapist. The next one is the intrapersonal skills, which have the ability to understand oneself and effectively direct one's life, like theologians and the psychologists like us. And the opposite of these skills is the interpersonal skills, which means the ability to understand and effectively interact with others, like the successful teachers and the mental health professionals. The last one is the naturalist skills, which means they have the ability to observe patterns in nature and understand natural and human-made system. Like the farmers, botanists, ecologists, and the most of all, the landscapers. Gardner argues that each form of intelligence can be destroyed by different pattern of brain damage. That each involves unique cognitive skills, and that each shows up in unique ways both the gifted and aged savants, or which means the individuals who have mental retardation but have an exceptional talent in a particular domain, such as drawing, music, or numerical computation.